Welcome to Pathways and Passports, where we break down complex immigration issues so professionals, entrepreneurs, investors, and anyone navigating U.S. immigration can make informed, strategic decisions. I'm Simone Williams. I'm an immigration lawyer, but long before that, I was an immigrant. I've gone from student visas to work visas to permanent residency and eventually U.S. citizenship. And so I know how overwhelming this process can be because I've lived it. That's why I'm an immigration lawyer for immigrants. So today's episode is about clarity, not headlines, and not hype. There's been growing global interest in what's often called the U.S. Gold Card, sometimes referred to as the Trump Gold Card. Today, I want to explain clearly and responsibly what it is, what it requires, who it's designed for, and who it's not designed for. No hype, no shortcuts, just facts. The Gold Card is a U.S. residency initiative introduced during the Trump administration, designed to attract ultra-high net worth individuals to the United States. The concept is simple: provide a government-direct, fast-track pathway to lawful permanent residence in exchange for a significant financial contribution to the U.S. government while maintaining strict vetting. So the Gold Card was designed to compete globally for capital. Other countries already offer investor residency programs. The U.S. wanted another way to attract serious capital, family offices, and global business leaders. At a high level, the Gold Card requires a government filing fee of $15,000 per person, extensive background and security vetting, full documentation of lawful source of funds, and a significant financial contribution of $1 million paid directly to the U.S. government. And this is critical. This is not an investment. It is a non-refundable government contribution. The money goes directly to the U.S. government. It does not go into a project. It does not go into escrow. It's even not recoverable. Because of how it's structured, the contribution is non-refundable. And I also want to note that each family member also must pay the filing fee. That means that the $15,000 fee applies per person, the principal applicant, and every dependent. So that's the spouse, children, everyone. If you apply as a family of four, you are paying 4 separate filing fees. And here's the most important part. If the principal applicant does not ultimately qualify, every single filing fee is lost. That means no refunds for anyone. So this is something that everyone needs to understand about the Gold Card and why the fees are high risk without legal review. First, the Gold Card applicants must still independently qualify under existing immigrant visa standards. That means you must qualify under either EB-1 or EB-2 National Interest Waiver, or called the NIW. The Gold Card does not replace those legal requirements. So if you do not qualify under EB-1 or EB-2 NIW standards, you do not get permanent residence, even if you paid the fees. And remember, the fees are non-refundable for every family member. Also, another thing to bear in mind is your source of funds. Your funds must be lawful, traceable, and well documented. Some examples of source of funds include business income, investments, sale of assets, inheritance, and gifts. So basically, if your source of funds does not pass scrutiny, you unfortunately do not qualify. And again, yes, you know, the fees are lost. This is why legal review before any payment is made is critical and is essential before you decide to apply for the Gold Card. You know, that's an amazing question, and unfortunately, In most cases, unfortunately not. And why is that? Because Chinese and Indian nationals already face significant visa backlogs in the EB-1 and the EB-2 visa categories. Since Gold Card eligibility still depends on EB-1 or EB-2 visa availability, the Gold Card does not eliminate those backlogs. So for many Chinese and Indian applicants, this can mean very high costs without solving the timing problem. That reality must be addressed honestly. So let me explain the process clearly because I think people need to understand how it works. You do not start by filing a form at the USCIS online website. The first step is registration. You begin by registering on trumpcard.gov and paying the $15,000 filing fee. After that registration is reviewed and the fee is accepted, you will receive an email invitation to continue the process through the USCIS online system. So that's one of the most common questions I'm getting right now. How does the Gold Card compare to the EB-5, an already residency program in the United States? How do you know which one is right for you? So both are immigrant pathways, both lead to US permanent residency, both give you a green card, but they work very differently. The Gold Card is based on a direct, non-refundable contribution, minimal operational involvement, no job creation requirement, and you must have a lawful source of funds, and you must qualify under the EB-1 or EB-2 visa category. If you don't qualify, the fees are lost for you and your family. So the Gold Card prioritizes simplicity, speed, exclusivity for people who have already lawful source of funds and qualify under EB-1 or EB-2. So you must understand that you have to accept that risk. On the other hand, the EB-5 is a statutory immigrant investor program. Instead of a contribution, you make an investment into a qualifying US business. You also have to show lawful source of funds. That investment must meet capital thresholds, which include creating at least 10 US jobs, remaining at risk for a defined period. EB-5 also doesn't require EB-1 or EB-2 eligibility because it's its own legal framework. And unlike the Gold Card, EB-5 offers a structured investment model with a return of your investment subject to project performance. This is a very great question, and it's one many investors are wondering about. Here's the simplest way to understand it. So when something is statutory law, it means it was passed by Congress and written directly into the US immigration law. EB-5 is statutory law. That means the rules are written into the law itself, and any changes actually require an act of Congress. So the program is generally more durable and predictable over time. In plain terms, it's basically harder to change, pause, or eliminate quickly. When something is based on executive action, on the other hand, like the Gold Card, it means it was created or implemented by the president or the executive branch. So the Gold Card is based on executive authority. That means the program exists through executive policy. Details can evolve more quickly. The framework can change with administrations, but that doesn't mean it's illegitimate. It just means it's more policy-driven than statute-driven. I want to really emphasize why this actually matters for investors. And I think that many that are viewing today probably know why. Because if you're making such a large, non-refundable financial decision, the legal foundation does matter. Some people prefer the stability and predictability of program already written into law. Others are actually comfortable with a government direct program that may move faster but carries more policy level risk. Neither approach is right or wrong, but understanding the difference helps you to choose the right strategy that matches your risk tolerance and long-term goals. So the legal distinction is exactly why the Gold Card versus EB-5 is not just a money question, honestly. It's a strategy question. So to summarize and to wrap it up, If you value a government direct pathway, simplicity, and minimal operational involvement, you already clearly qualify under EB-1 or EB-2, you are comfortable making a non-refundable financial contribution, and you understand the program and its requirements are policy-driven and may change with administrations, then the Gold Card may be appropriate, but only with careful legal review up front. So I really do recommend that you consult an immigration attorney if you do plan to apply for the Gold Card. However, if you value a defined statutory immigration program, a pathway independent of EB-1 and EB-2 visa backlogs, and a structure where capital is invested, not donated, then EB-5 may be the better long-term strategy for you. There's really no one-size-fits-all solution, to be frank. There is only the right strategy based on eligibility, risk tolerance, family considerations, and long-term closing. The US Gold Card is not a shortcut. It is not a guarantee, and it's not casual. It's a high-stakes decision with real financial consequences. At Williams Global Law, we lead with education and precision because decisions at this level don't just affect immigration status, they affect families, capital, and long-term legacy in the United States. If the United States is part of your long-term vision, the right time to understand your options is before you commit your money. And before we close, I just wanted to add a quick note. This discussion is for general educational purposes only and does not constitute legal advice. At Pathways and Passports, we believe immigration isn't just about visas. It's about direction. It's about helping students, professionals, founders, and families move with clarity, confidence, and purpose, not fear or misinformation. This matters to us because we're a firm for immigrants, run by immigrants who've lived the journey ourselves. If this episode helped you, please subscribe, follow, and share it with someone who needs clarity right now. And when you're ready to move from questions to strategy, please visit us at Williams Global Law for a proper legal assessment. Until next time, plan intentionally, build wisely, and remember, your pathway should work for you, not against you.